90 days ago, I decided I had enough. Enough of being out of breath, tying my bloody shoes. Enough of pretending I was fine when cutting my toenails felt like cardio. Enough of watching myself slowly expand every year and doing absolutely nothing about it. For most of my life, I was actually a skinny bloke. But somewhere around my 30s, I discovered I had a very advanced palate for beer, and basically anything that tastes good. And from there, I just kept expanding. Now I'm 46 and 112 kilograms. One day, YouTube started feeding me videos of these skinny little ninjas flying with jump ropes, double unders, one-leg jumps, spinning around like bloody helicopters. And I thought to myself, imagine if I could even do 10% of that. Problem was, at 46 and 112 kilos, I could barely do a one-leg jump without looking like I was being electrocuted. So I made a decision. Nothing dramatic, no big announcement, no new me Facebook post, no transformation speech. My wife and kids were the only ones who knew. Mostly because they watched Dad outside every afternoon, making an absolute ass of himself with a jump rope. And honestly, the reason I kept it quiet was simple. The moment people know you're trying to lose weight, suddenly, everyone becomes an expert. Every barbecue, every plate, every beer. Should you be eating that? Are you allowed another beer? Nah, mate. I didn't want any of that. And to be honest, I didn't even really have a plan. I just needed to do something. Because the internet is an absolute nightmare when you start looking into fitness. Every second person has the perfect solution. Keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, cold plunges, ice baths, this supplement, that supplement. Before long, you end up with analysis paralysis and never actually start. So I stopped looking for the perfect plan and just tried to find one I could actually survive. Calorie deficit. Eat less, move more. Revolutionary stuff. The food side had to be realistic. There are millions of recipes online. Fancy meal plans, ingredients I can't pronounce. Mate, I shop at New World. I'm not a cooking dude. I needed repeatable meals with stuff I can actually buy in New Zealand without needing a bloody treasure map. And yes, I still had beers. I just counted them, which became pretty funny actually. At one point, I had bottle caps rattling around in my pockets everywhere I went, like some sort of alcoholic pirate accountant. But that was my system. I still lived life, still had fun. Just less of it. Now let's talk about jump rope. Because holy hell, jump rope humbles you fast. Those videos online make it look easy. It is not easy. My shins got absolutely destroyed. My head got whipped. The rope wrapped around my legs, around my arms, around my dignity. There were days where I genuinely questioned why I chose this as my cardio. Walking existed. Bikes existed. But no, I chose self-inflicted rope violence. But then something happened. After the first month, I lost 4 kilos. And that was huge because suddenly this thing felt real. My clothes felt different. I felt lighter. I could breathe easier. And for the first time in a long time, I actually felt like I was capable of changing. Then month 2 arrived, and things slowed down. Less weight loss, more frustration, more staring at the scale, wondering if the batteries were flat. And then my right calf gave out. Completely. I don't know if it was overtraining. I don't know if it was my form. What I know is, one afternoon I was jumping, and then I wasn't. I couldn't train for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of watching the scale. 2 weeks of questioning if this was already over. If I'd already broken the one thing I'd actually committed to. That was the lowest point of the whole 90 days. Not because of the pain, but because I could feel the old version of me, the one that finds reasons to quit, waiting to take over again. Month 3 slowed down even more. And this is where most people stop. Because at the start, motivation carries you. But eventually, motivation disappears. And all that's left is routine. The boring stuff. The repeated meals. The rope sessions. Showing up even when you genuinely can't be bothered. And mentally, that was hard. Because one morning you wake up half a kilo lighter, next morning you somehow gained weight. Just from breathing oxygen and existing. Apparently there's glycogen, and water retention, and sodium, and moon phases, and witchcraft involved. I still don't fully understand it. But over time, I started learning something. Progress is not linear. The scale lies sometimes, but consistency compounds. So, 90 days. I started at 112.4 kilos. I'm now 103 kilos. 9.4 kilos. Not the dramatic before and after you see all over social media. Not a transformation montage with a banging track. Just 9.4 kilos of real weight. From a real person. With a real job. A real family. And a very real love of beer. And after 90 days, I think the biggest thing I learned is this. Most people don't fail because the plan doesn't work. They fail because they spend so much time looking for the perfect plan that they never actually start. I didn't optimize everything. I didn't become a health guru. I didn't suddenly turn into David Goggins. I just consistently did slightly better than before. And over time, that started changing things. There was one moment, though, that honestly meant more to me than any number on a scale. We went to visit close friends. Hadn't seen them in maybe 3 weeks. And one of them looked at me and said, "Mate, you look good. Have you lost weight?" And I'm not gonna lie, that hit hard. Because for weeks I'd been staring at numbers, questioning if anything was even happening. And suddenly, somebody noticed. Without me saying a single word. That's actually one of the reasons I started this channel. Not to become a fitness influencer, definitely not because I know what I'm doing. I'm literally figuring this out as I go. But this channel became a weird kind of accountability. Nobody here really knows me. But somehow, sharing the journey keeps me going. And honestly, the occasional supportive comment helps more than people realize. I'm still overweight. I still mess up. I still enjoy beer. I still have days where I genuinely can't be bothered. And I'm still nowhere near those jump rope ninjas. But 90 days ago, I was struggling to tie my shoes without getting out of breath. Now I'm out here jumping rope, almost every day. Still slapping my shins occasionally, but moving forward. And honestly, that's enough reason to keep going. Results over process every day